So, documenting the process to becoming the nap time millionaire. And when I say the nap time millionaire, I mean, like, for all my moms out there, y'all know nap time is from like 12 to 2 or 12 to 3, depending on, how your schedule go. I've been a mom 5 times over now, so nap time has always been from 12 to about 2:30. And in this season of my life, nap time is 12 to 2. So, for me to become a nap time millionaire, I definitely can't do this in my own strength. I definitely cannot depend on man to do this for me. All of my dependence and trust and faith has to be in God. And y'all, when the Holy Spirit first told me that I would be the nap time millionaire, he told me this like last month, March. Today is April 11th, 2022, by the way. He told me this last month in March that I will be the nap time millionaire. And it's because of the way that I've been doing business or trying to do business in my own strength for like years now. My son is 11. I've been trying to be an entrepreneur way before he was born, and I didn't even realize. But when I really started getting into it, he was a baby. And I started my first business, an accessory business, because I love statement jewelry. So 11 years now, and I have not been successful in any business, consistent in any business. I have not stuck to any business long enough to say, oh yeah, this works, that works, this is how it works, do this, do that. I haven't been able to do that because of my own just my inconsistency, my decisions, life, not being able to stay focused and stuff like that. So so it's been a lot of toiling and a lot of starting over. And this is not the season, like, it's a crossover, not a start over. And the Holy Spirit is really wanting me to, why am I turning? The Holy Spirit is really wanting me to seek Him in all of it. So, y'all, we know it can be done. Like, if you look at the world's way of doing business, we know that they have a book called The 4-Hour Work Week, where, you set up a business and you make millions just doing 4 hours of work a week. And for a long time, I didn't believe that that was possible for my life. Like, I grew up in a household where my parents worked constantly. My dad, from sun up to sundown. So it was like a mindset shift. But anyway, I can only do this in God's capacity, with God's capacity, in God's capacity or with God's capacity, to become a nap time millionaire. And today He told me during Prophetic Planning for Your Day that that's still gonna be my schedule. So if I try to do work outside of this nap time, like, it's not gonna work. Pretty much what He's doing is He is setting me up for success. And if I don't be obedient and still try to work all throughout the day, toil and do things my way, it's not gonna work. And it took me a long time to learn that, y'all. But I can say, like, the mindset shift is what did it. Like, I had to be like, okay, God, I can't do this no more, not in my capacity. I need your strength, your capacity to do this. And I truly believe that my family is destined for wealth. That's a promise of God. Like, God gives us the ability to get wealth. We're gonna go through things. We're going to have failures, and a lot of things happen in life. But does that take you out of the promises of God? No. Should it be learning lessons? Yes. Should that make you seek God more? Yes. So I know I'm called to be an entrepreneur, and I know I'm called to be wealthy, y'all. Like, wealthy. Yes, that wealthy. And the wealth that is for me and my family is not to be done in toil. And, like, the way I was trying to do it in direct sales and MLMs and just different kind of ways, trying different things. I was just in all kind of stuff, y'all, and it was because I didn't have the trust and the faith that I needed to have in God. So now in this season, crossing over, not starting over, and like he did tell me to have joy in doing this, have joy in crossing over, have joy in the fact that he is only wanting me to work 2 hours a day. Why do I find fault? Like, why do I feel like all of these things try to rise up in me? Guilt, shame, like, Lord, 2 hours a day. But what he's showing me is like, you gonna be trying to do everything you think you need to do in your business if you don't do it the way I'm telling you to do it. So now it's like, Crystal, find joy in working 2 hours a day. 12 to 2, I'm good with that, Lord, and I ain't got to worry about nothing else. And you got me? Okay, yes, I'll take that. He told me today, like, it's about the quality of your work. It's not about the quantity of your work. So I read an email this morning, and y'all think I'm gonna join her coaching program. I read an email this morning where she was talking about like how she launched her business, and she's a coach, by the way. She launched her business with just social media posts and emails. She didn't have all these funnels and website and all of this stuff. Like, she just did it simply and made, I think, $25,000 that month. And I'm like, Lord, I know that's what you got for me. Like, I ain't trying to, be DMing people. And even in insurance, y'all, like, I know God has called me to the insurance industry. Life insurance, I'm sure. And I don't, he called me to it. And I remember for a long time, like before moving here to Georgia, I had this desire to have an insurance brokerage. And I didn't really know what that vision entailed. It was just, I knew I wanted to have an insurance brokerage. Why? I don't know. Like, where did that desire come from? I do not know. Even for me to be doing credit, just to be in the financial industry, period. I'm like, where did all this come from? And I be running from it, y'all, because I'm like, the financial industry, Lord? Why? Because all I thought I wanted to do was entertainment. I thought I wanted to do marketing, advertising. That's what I went to school for, and business, but finances, Lord? Why? Like, it just fell in my lap, insurance. And then I was like, I want my own brokerage, and God has been slow, like giving me bits and pieces here and there of what's going to be happening in my life with insurance, but I would run from it. This is what I was trying to get to, because this is my initial thought of why I'm recording the video. But why I would run from it is because I want the success, but I was afraid of the work that came with that. And the only reason I was afraid of the work that came with being successful and going after what I know I wanted and see myself doing is because I thought that it was going to require me to like toil, like do really hard, challenging work and never be available for my children or family, or being afraid of the fact that like the success is going to take me away from my children or my husband or my family. And back then I was struggling with myself in my mind. I was struggling with like a lot of stuff, just trauma, emotional trauma, really. And in my marriage, I was struggling, and like just the way I was parenting, like mothering my children, was from a broken place. And that was why I ran from the desires of my heart, even though like I would meet people. And y'all, I have done some things in insurance, like, and in jobs that I never thought I would be doing, like, and just, showing myself that I am capable of things that I desire. But it's like when I find myself in a situation, where I'm in a circle of people or a job or whatever that felt good, and like there was always something in my mind like, Crystal, you don't belong. You're not worthy to be around these people. What are you doing? And I will find a reason to sabotage those situations that I was in, I don't know, like just thinking about what people think of me, the rejection, which is what we dealt with in Prophetic Plan for Your Day last week. And it really showed me, like, girl, get your life together and stop rejecting yourself. So, yes, embracing the crossover with joy and not worrying about what people are going to think. Because the people that I'm worried about, their opinions and stuff, is the people that know me directly, or people that I meet and think they know me personally, but they really don't. So, like, if I got to be honest, like our church that we go to now, y'all, these people don't know me like that. We've only been going to the church for, like, it hasn't even been a year yet since we've been going to this church. And I want to say at least 6, 7, 8 months we've been going to this church, and this is my first time going consistently for the past 2 months, every Sunday, being there and at different services and stuff, and groups and stuff like that. And y'all, even these people, like, I became aware of how I was worried about what they thought of me and what I was doing, because I put myself in this situation where I feel like my life has to look a certain way for people to accept me. And especially if God called me to finances, it's like my life has to look like I'm wealthy and luxurious and stuff like that. Whoa, what is happening? The light. And that was my problem too. So, y'all, I'm embracing the crossover. It's not a start over, it's a crossover. And I used to find so much heaviness and burden in starting over all the time, because that's all I was constantly doing, because I didn't want to show up in my business and show up consistently to be successful and see success. And then I went in with the expectation of failing already before it even started, because of my mindset. So look, I don't want to be like the children of Israel, like they supposed to be crossing over to the land of milk and honey, but they had to go wander in the valley for 40 years. And y'all, honestly, like the last, it's been 11 years, it felt like the valley, because of what? My mindset. But also because I had to go through certain things for God to bring me through and show me, like, okay, Crystal, this is what's going on. So you had to go through this to learn this and deal with this and not do this again. And y'all, and moving here to Georgia is definitely a crossover. And y'all, I felt that so heavy, like when we crossed over the Georgia-Florida line. I felt that so heavy, like, whoa, like this is it, y'all. Like, ain't no turning back. I'm like, Lord, I ain't going back. So crossing over, and what's interesting is that every time we got to the Florida-Georgia line, like coming from Florida back and going to Georgia, I kid y'all not, like as soon as we cross over and we drive in the first 2 to 3 minutes, it seems like the sky just brightens up, like, y'all, like the glory of God, for real. Like, I asked him, I was like, you notice that when we cross over the border, like from over the state line from Florida to Georgia, it just brightens up. It's like a cloud is like the sun, like, y'all, I don't even know how to explain it. And y'all, I don't know if me and my husband are the only one who noticed that, but sure. And I take that as signs, y'all, like this is it. Like it feels brighter. It's been good to us. So you have to know when God is crossing you over and not starting you over, because we can see the start over as a burden. Woe is me, we complain, it's heavy, Lord. Just like the children of Israel, y'all. And God kept promising them and telling them, like, this is what you gonna have, but if you don't get your mind right, you finna miss it. So how about he had to knock out a whole generation. Like, he's like, I ain't letting y'all go over here. Y'all gonna ruin it. Like, y'all gonna ruin the land of milk and honey for everybody else. So I don't want that. Like, I have to see, I'm crossing over y'all out of this valley. Like, it happened last year when we moved here. That was the crossover out of the valley. And it you know, not saying like it was gonna be easy, but y'all, this has been one of the most peaceful years that I've had. Like 2021, even though we moved to Georgia, like, y'all, my body was overly stressed out, and we had a baby and everything. Like, this has been one of the most peaceful years I've had in a long time. So I'm learning to embrace the crossover and stop looking at everything as a start over and woe is me and stuff like that. And I think if you change your perspective to that, if you're going through something in your life and you feel like, dang, I want to start over, I got to keep starting over, and I'm just not going to do nothing because I got to keep starting over and stuff like that. If you keep looking at it that way, you're going to stay in this constant cycle and not know why you're in this constant cycle. I didn't bring your Patsy. So look at it as a crossover. Hey, put your leg down. And not a start over.